Jay, the FBI offer $1 million to a British spy is a question, for him to confirm information that he already gave you. That massive amount of money seems a bit like a bribe, doesn't it? Offer somebody enough money and they can move mountains. They can make lies appear true. $1 million can buy the story that you want, no matter how ridiculous it is, especially from a rabid anti-Trumper like Christopher Steele, who was leaking to the media already. And the remarkable thing is, in this case, the story wasn't true. The FBI tried to give Steele $1 million and they weren't able to, because Steele, for a huge pile of cash, couldn't even manage to fake the evidence to verify the nonsense that he had been pushing for months. So they couldn't even get it done with that much money. As the media eviscerated Donald Trump's credibility and worked to paralyze his ability to connect with Americans and get his agenda off the ground, you remember how aghast the media was when Trump fired James Comey. Everybody went nuts. Here was Comey in the summer of 2017, and remember, at this point, he was fully aware that the dossier was ridiculous.
I have been authorized by the Department of Justice to confirm that the FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. And that includes investigating the nature of any links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government.
So that's how our government and the media handled a fake corruption story. Ironically, today, the country has a very real corruption story sitting right in front of us. In fact, it was the very next president in line. Ended up being the one selling out his country for money. With all the staggering evidence that we have now seen, far more compelling than anything they ever had against Donald Trump, last night Jake Tapper interviewed President Biden. CNN claims to be shifting more moderate. They're going to start getting back to real news, is what they tell us. So obviously we were curious how hard Tapper would go after Biden regarding a mountain of evidence that he, his son, and his brother have been working in tandem to sell access to his power all over the world and get very, very rich. And Tapper decided to bring it up, kind of, and it ended up being a huge disappointment. We're going to let this play out. Enjoy.
CNN's reporting and the Washington Post reporting suggests the prosecutors think they have enough to charge your son Hunter for tax crimes and a false statement about a gun purchase. Personally and politically, how do you react to that?
Well, first of all, I'm proud of my son. This is a kid who got, not a kid, he's a grown man. He got hooked on, like many families have had happen, hooked on drugs. I have great confidence in my son. I love him, and he's on the straight and narrow, and he has been for a couple of years now, and I'm just so proud of him.
You're about to turn 80.
Jake Tapper could not wait to change the subject and get away from that story. With that, CNN is lauding its return to non-partisan news, the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Rick Grinnell joins us now to talk more about this.